just don't know why he wouldn't have, like just been more forthcoming with that. Oh God, here comes good. What do we do?
Just act normal,
right? Got it.
Hey man.
Hey.
How's it going?
What's going on, man?
How are you?
Good.
Cool. Good. We're good too. We're also
good to see you. Just coming into work today.
Yep.
So I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah. Thanks for
rehearsing. It's rehearsal day, so
yeah, that's right.
So you're gonna see you guys.
Well, and thank you for saying thanks for coming by.
Thanks for coming by, man.
Thanks for saying hi. Thank you for
good
saying
to
hi.
see you, dude.
Yeah, you too.
All right, see you around,
buddy. See you soon, pal.
Michael, hey, can you come to set? We're starting rehearsal now. Come on out.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah?
How come you're doing Robin's job? She usually comes to get me.
Oh, yeah. Well, she asked me to. She didn't want to. Well, look, can you just come set for rehearsal, okay? Hey, Michael.
Okay.
I have no idea.
Yeah, me
I don't know why I wouldn't say that.
I know.
Oh my God, you guys! You heard about Michael?
Yeah, we were just talking about it.
never would have
I can't believe you wouldn't say something.
Yo, what's going on, man?
Okay, guys, come on.
Hey.
What's going on?
All right, dude. Like, I just can't believe you never told us. You were born in Canada. Winnipeg? What is that?
You think you know someone?
How do I explain this to my parents?
Okay, like you guys read the whole article, right? The whole.
Oh yeah.
that's cool.
Nobody
Almost.
cares.
Yeah.
Almost everybody's transitioned.
No, Sean, that is not true.
But Winnipeg, dude.
Nuts. Yeah, you look like you're from Winnipeg. You don't even sound Canadian.
I never would have guessed.
I'm Canadian and I've never met someone from Winnipeg. Ever.
That you know of.
Wait.
Okay. I'll see you in a bit.
Listen, the thing that I just can't kind of like wrap my brain around is, why'd you pay Stormy Daniels $130,000? Like, how do you even know her?
Oh, okay, here we go. Here we go.
Michael.
Gary's coming back.
Yay!
Hey,
Ta-da!
Michael D. Cohen.
Mr. Swaz.
You
what
lost track
happened?
of time.
You
get
know,
froze, Michael.
the internet went.
Yes.
Did you
What
see
happened?
me? Did you hear me talking and saying I can't hear you or see you?
No, what we saw was. Well, your
Oh,
mouth.
good.
Wait, look this.
You're actually your mouth was.
Oh, good. At least that.
At least he was still happy. That's all that matters.
But
Okay. All right, I'm back. I'm just putting you on my little tripod. For some reason, why internet should not just go down like that these days. You need it.
I think
It's like in Hamilton.
everybody,
Whatever happens.
everybody's online these days, so it's like.
Yeah, it's a lot slower. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'm back. I'm on my phone now.
So I think we left off at you've done a lot of commercials, and you did that wonderful one for the Super Bowl with Will Arnett.
Wow, you did your homework, huh? Yeah, that's impressive, David. Yeah, that was a few years ago. That was fun. I did. That was really cool. And then I did another commercial after I did Suburbicon with George Clooney.
Yeah.
I did an espresso commercial with George Clooney, which was really fun.
Yes, I did see that one.
That's my favorite.
I saw it too.
In fact, you said espresso, and I'm saying let's all go out for espresso. Like
Like going to Starbucks together.
That'll be fun.
okay.
That'd be dope.
Yes. Now, Tim, do you have a question for our guest today?
Yes. How do you think Hollywood will be for people with disabilities?
Oh, how do you feel that Hollywood treats people with disabilities?
No, could be more inclusive. Could be more inclusive.
It could definitely be more inclusive. Absolutely. I mean, I think that I was reading this really great article in Emmy magazine. They have these great articles and interviews with people, and when they were talking about inclusivity, and they were saying like the writer's room should look like if you just took your hand and scooped up a little bit of the world. That's what the writer's room should look like, and I think that's what the characters should look like.
There aren't any.
Yeah, there aren't any. I mean, it's very few, right? I think you're onto it. I mean, I hope it'll change.
Yeah.
I mean, they're speechless. Company, they're speechless, but they got canceled.
Yeah.
I think it's going very, very, step by step too. Even Ryan Murphy has done a lot for the community, and I think it's really picked up. But I agree. I think it's taken its time.
Well, yes, it is, and you would know better than anyone. And I think that this is why I think, David, what you do and your work and how you've been over the many, many years that I've known you is such a huge contribution, because you have nurtured and brought up actors with disabilities and really helped that community in a way that if you weren't here, I think it would be a very different world for them and for us, because we wouldn't be able to have the actors that we have, such as this group right here. So I think you're an unsung hero in that regard.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
And so I would love to see. Yeah, I'd love to see more writing with, just with more inclusivity like that.
Yeah. Well, I have to say, I mean, it's such a village. I mean, I'm so blessed to work at Performing Arts Studio West and have had Meet the Biz before that. And of course, Mary Rings, Born to Act Players. And,
That's right.
I know, right? We could go on. Joy Travolta's Inclusion Films, Actors for Autism. But, you were saying people with disabilities, and I am all about the talent and the human being and the person themselves. And that's the way I look at it. And I think that when people in the industry or even in the world see that more and say, hey, we're all actors here, and we all work together, that's when I think the door's really going to burst open. When they, like Kathy Buckley says, get out of the box.
Well, it's this strange paradox, this strange dichotomy. Like, we have to, on the one hand, be inclusive and saying, okay, we want to get diversity, people of color, people of different abilities, people of different gender, sexuality, etc., right? We want all of that. And at the same time, we also have to see that those are the things that shape our life, but they are not the human.
Yeah.
The human is beyond any of those labels. And in order for the humans out there who are watching our entertainment to understand that, they need to see themselves reflected back in our work. And that's why this inclusion is so important, is to help people see that they exist, they have a right to exist, their stories are important, that who they are is important, and that whatever is defining them, quote unquote, isn't really the definition of who they are.
Right. Right. Well, I mean, that's why I'm so excited to see your new show. And I mean, you were written up in People Magazine, Time Magazine. I mean, and your story is so powerful.
Oh, thanks.
So
powerful.
Yeah, I know that when I was a kid, I didn't see, my life would be so different if I had seen who I was somehow reflected back. So I think it's really important that kids and even adults, that we all see ourselves reflected back.
Yeah.
That's what stories are for. I mean, if you think about it, you know, the cave people sitting around a fire telling stories. That was TV and film back then. But they told stories so that it's a learning process. It's so that we learn how to deal with different situations, so that we can reflect it back on our own lives and see, how does that affect me, or how, you know, how does that help me solve this and this problem, or whatever. It's all, stories are all very, very healing, and they can be just entertaining too. They can just be like, that's okay, that was just total escapism, which is fine. But then they're also, they have a bigger purpose as well.
Right, right. Well, you know, one thing that I love that you do too, beside acting and directing and producing, you also have your own school and you teach your own classes. And one of the things that I was looking at, which I loved, is your philosophy. And the line that just hit me was transforming blocks into brilliance.
Oh, I'm glad you like that.
Yeah. Yeah. What does that mean for the actors out there,
Well,
and the human beings?
I mean, it means that the things that stop us internally, our obstacles, are actually have a lot of power that we can gain from them that can make us brilliant. So the things that we most fear in ourselves, the things that stop us, all those things, when we can really understand them and we can really get into them and embrace those things and really work with them, they become clay instead of a wall. They become material that you're like, wow, that just, if I can really go through that and transform it, it's not about getting rid of, it's not like, you know, eradicating blocks, you know, it's about transforming them. It's about you don't want to get rid of them, because that just makes you more resistant and it makes the blocks more intense. You want to work with them. And so that's what I'm really interested in doing, is looking at where is an actor blocked and how do we transcend that, and then it reflects back on their real life. Like anything you change in your life will affect your acting. Anything that you change in your acting will affect your life. It's all a growth process and it's all related.
It's beautiful. Do we have any other questions we wanted to ask? I saw Ranjani's and then Alexandra.
What's your favorite Canadian comedian as character of your character as your favorite Canadian comedian is by you as character of Henry Danger?
So my favorite Canadian character, my favorite Canadian comedian.
To just by you as a funniest guy who's by you as a character of Henry Danger.
So so I want to make sure I understand the question. So you want to know who's my favorite Canadian comedian who's inspired my character on Henry Danger?
Yeah.
Oh, got it. Let's see, Canadian. Well, I got to say that separate from Henry Danger, I love like Catherine O'Hara, Eugene Levy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I just think they're amazing, and I saw them interviewed for I guess it was the Television Academy, because they're doing all those things for the Emmys, and I just love how she presents herself and how she is.
Yeah, doesn't do the crossover with all the comedians of Henry Danger. That's gonna be awesome.
And Eugene Levy, you know, is great. You know Rick Moranis. You ever see Ghostbusters?
Could you?
Yeah.
And Honey, I Shrunk the Kids?
Could you please start in?
He's amazing. Yeah, all those guys, you know. Yeah, I'm sort of influenced by all of them.
When did you know that you wanted to be in the performing arts? Because I know that you studied, I mean, you got a Bachelor of Science, right?
Yeah,
Ooh,
I got
science.
a Bachelor of Science in cell biology, like molecular biology, and then I did a master's in adult education. But I knew, even though I did those things, I still knew I wanted to be an actor. I knew since I was 4 years old, and I was watching the Carol Burnett show. I knew. but I was also, I was good at science and I really liked science. And I think also just my relationship to my body and gender identity and things like that made me really curious about how the body worked. And I think I really loved learning about biochemistry. I was like, I wonder, I always kind of wonder subconsciously, I was thinking, well, if I can, maybe I can figure it out, you know?
Right.
But yeah, I loved it. I loved studying that stuff. I still do. But yeah, I knew since I was a little kid.
Yeah. What was your biggest mountain in life to climb?
I mean, there was a lot. I've had a few mountains. It's funny you asked that because you know I climb mountains, right?
I do know that.
I knew it.
My biggest mountain was in Ecuador. It was 19,000 feet.
Wow.
I'd be scared.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Not a lot of oxygen up there at
How long
19,000.
did that take?
Well, we were acclimating at 15,000 feet. So we started at 15,000. And so we did that overnight. So we left at like 1 a.m. and we got back around noon. So it took like, what is that, 12 hours-ish?
Right.
Like
Wow.
11 hours to go from 15,000 feet to the summit and come back down.
Yeah. Yeah. And what was a different kind of mountain that you had to climb in life?
I think like everybody, you know, your family of origin stuff, you know, just the whole, you know, all that stuff I think has always been really, you know, and I mean, you know, transition in a sense that the mountain was invisible. It was like a hidden iceberg really for me, because I think it was just too much to climb.
Yeah.
So, and then when I was able to climb it, I just did it.
Wow.
So I feel like the effects of that are a mountain for sure. Like, you know, but it's, I don't know. It's insidious. It's you know, it's not, it's sort of like, it's all I know. So, but I think, yeah, like anybody else, just like, you know, working through your own stuff.
Right. Well, I think the way you described it really hit me, because we all have our mountains in life to climb, emotional mountains, physical mountains, and it really touched me. It sort of opened a window, especially how you described the mountain is actually an iceberg, and then ultimately, you know, the iceberg's not there anymore, and it's a pool, you know, and it's a different way, you know, a different way to get through it. All of a sudden, oh, that's not a mountain anymore. It doesn't, you know, how did that change? And you just grew into it in a way, or you
Well, it's pretty, yeah, it's pretty phenomenal to think, you know, for most of your life, who you are is not okay.
Yeah.
And not know that that's what you're thinking, but you are. And then, you know, and then go, oh, this is who I am. I don't care if anybody thinks it's okay or not. This is who I am.
Yeah.
And then 20 years later, like now, everybody's like, you know, not only is it okay, we celebrate this. Well, not everybody, obviously. There's still a lot of work to be done, but much more than when I transitioned. So it's pretty, like, it's like hard to wrap my head around.
Yeah. Well, the acceptance of oneself. I mean, I still have things. I guess, you know, as long as we're living, we all deal through stuff.
Sure. Yeah.
Alexandra, and we'll get back to you, Ranjan.
Okay. My other question is, if in the episode Sister Twister, how did your character know Piper's character was coming in for there?
Was that when she comes down into the man cave and she sees Henry? Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah.
You know so much. You know more about this than I do. I'm totally impressed. And so your question is, how did I know that Piper was going to show up? Is that what you were asking?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's a good question. I have to go back and revisit that episode. Did Schwaz know? I don't know if Schwaz knew that Piper was coming.
Okay.
Oh, you would know. Yeah, but well, Schwaz knows everything. Let's just say that. Schwaz knows everything.
Schwaz. I love it. How about you, Tim? Do you have another question?
How did you come the act? How did you come up with the accent before?
How did you come up with your acting approach?
The accent.
Oh, the accent. How did I come up with the accent?
Yeah.
That's a good question, Tim. The audition just said he has an accent, and I just always had this weird kind of Eastern European accent that I used to do, like just, you know, it wasn't quite Schwaz, it was more like, you know, just talking like this kind of thing. And so I came in with that accent. And then as I was watching the first season, like at first they didn't want it very thick. And I watched the first season and I was like, I think he should have a thicker accent. I didn't really like it. And so the second season I came back and I just made it really thick. And I listened to all of the vowels and I made a decision on how all the vowels sounded. So when Schwaz says Ray, he goes Rai. So it's A as I, and, you know, O as, you know, O. And I just made a decision about how to pronounce all the vowels so I could be consistent. And then I made a decision that R's a roll, but he's like, you know, R, Rai, Rai. So yeah, I kind of just winged it for the first year. And then after that, decided, okay, I'm going to get a little bit more methodical about this.
I love that. You know, that so reminds me, and I love what you do. I mean, it as you could see, it brings so much joy to so many, your characters and your acting. And it really brought me back to, you know, when I was growing up, and you have the accents, you know, the Inspector Cluzel. Yeah, so it's just, I love, it's actors like you who bring light into our lives, you know.
Oh, well, that's a huge compliment. And, you know, I think I wrestled for a while about being an actor in the sense that, like, you know, is it serious enough? Like, it's not like I had a choice. I really felt, I don't really feel like I had a choice. I felt like I have to do this.
Yeah.
It just didn't, it felt like a very strong calling. And it sounds a little lofty, but it's true. You know, like I didn't think, I knew I wouldn't be happy doing anything else. But I was always a little bit conflicted because I thought, well, is this just really indulgent for me to do? And then now with COVID, I realize how important entertainment is and how important stories are and how much the media can affect people. And then just being a part of disclosure, which is really cool. And realizing how important representation is in the media. So I got to see that, yeah, okay, it's not frivolous. It's a good thing to do. So that's shifted.
Well, thank you so much. Is everybody got your questions?
And I have a last question for him.
Sure.
We got
Do
two
you-
last questions.
Okay, do you like the crossovers with Hair Danger? Do you like it?
Yeah, they're fun. They're usually very, very big, meaning like sometimes it takes a couple weeks to shoot. They're just really labor intensive, but they're really fun because you get to have like new people on the set and new other actors to work with, and the stories are interesting. But they're a lot of work. Which is great. Yeah.
Yes, Devon.
And I'm glad that you said they're a lot of work, Michael, because I know I've seen you in The Adventures of Kid Danger, which was a cartoon. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I'm writing scripts for a cartoon that Matthew Selden is putting together. It's actually, I sent it to him. It's actually called Devon's Roller Coaster Ride. And
That's a good
it's
crossover.
something I made up. It's something I made up. Do you have any advice for me or anything? Like, because I'm trying to get into voice acting in cartoons such as Evolution Land with Matthew Selden. And I'm afraid that if I say a line, I might mess up or have to redo something a couple of scenes over. So
You can do that though in voiceover. In voiceover, it's not live, so you can mess up all you want. They just take the best take. You know, lots of times they'll okay, cut, let's do that again, and you do it this way this time, and then people mess up their line and they do it again. Like you don't have to be perfect. You don't, and you don't even for film and TV, you don't have to be perfect. You just you just know, you do your work, you get prepared, and then you do your best, and it's totally fine. Beginning it's funny because right now I'm setting up a home voiceover booth. I've gotten away because of COVID and everything. Everybody's really wanting you to have more equipment at home, so I'm setting that up. It's kind of fun to recommit to that. I think the main thing is with voice is, maybe take, I don't know if there's some classes you can take, or maybe you already know how to do it, but practicing talking with a mic, it's really different than, because you have to make sure that if you have a pop filter, but you don't, there's certain techniques. So you want to learn those techniques. It's not that hard. You can pick it up in a couple hours, but really you have to really engage your imagination because you're not on a set. So you have to see everything in your mind. And it's just practicing that. And if you do character voices, just really practicing those, it's awesome. I think it's great you're doing it.
Yeah.
I actually wrote another script that I sent it to him, that I sent to him.
And what's so good about Devon is today he has a second callback.
Yes, I do.
In fact, it's in about 30 minutes.
Oh my God.
Lucky you.
I know. I know Michelle didn't get a second question. Did you want one, Michelle?
No, I was gonna ask the same thing that he had, but I guess it's not a question, but I'm gonna watch it over and over again because I have it on demand. Not Henry Danger, but Danger Force. I'm gonna watch that again.
Okay.
Yeah, Danger Force. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
because I have Spectrum and it's on demand. So
yeah.
Oh, great. Yeah. Well, we did about 7 episodes of that, and now we're supposed to go back and shoot some more in a couple weeks. So.
Yay! Cross my fingers for you.
I love it. Well, the last question is, what is your dream? What is your biggest dream right now?
I have a few. Am I allowed to have a few?
Tell us.
We're
always here. We're our friends.
I have a dream. I really want to help trans youth, and so I'm doing some projects that are gonna hopefully help trans youth with acting and just access to healthcare and things like that. I love where I'm at now, and I can see one day I would really love to be on a primetime kind of adult audience show, sitcom would be amazing. I want to direct. I've got some projects I want to produce that are in the can, and do my play, get some feature films done. I mean, I just want to do it all.
Like,
and I feel like, I'm a lot older than you guys, and I feel like I'm just starting my life now. So, it's always starting over. And I feel like maybe that's not such a bad thing to always feel like you're starting. It's just kind of a cool thing. So if you ever think, oh, well, it's too late. No, it's not too late. Now's the time. So I keep telling myself that. And I'm just building on what I've been working in this business since 1990.
Wow. I was born in 1995.
Is that
born?
Did you get your SAG card in 1990?
No, I was in Canada. So I got my ACTRA card in 1992 or something like that. So I was joined the union early in the 90s. And then when I moved here, I got the SAG card in 2006.
Oh, nice.
Wow. I haven't joined the swag yet either.
Question. Do you also get money wise, like for me, for example, I still get money
Like residuals.
Yeah. If you're not on the show anymore, you still get residuals.
You still get residuals. Yeah, you get, well, the shows that I've
Yeah.
done before Henry Danger and that, yeah, you
Okay.
get, yeah.
Well, I know your hand has been up, and then we'll end the interview. But Alexandra,
Yes, I just want to say, what was your best moment? It's the episode Sick and Wired.
Sick and Wired. Okay, remind me which one that was, because I've done like over 100 episodes and I don't remember what each one was about by the title. Which one was Sick and Wired?
What was your best moment in that episode?
Can you remind me what that episode was about?
Your
What was
best
that
moment?
Yes, I know.
it's interesting because there's so many episodes that you do it. It's sort of like, oh, wait a minute, because sometimes as an actor you do the script and then it's like, okay, did that.
Yeah, and I don't remember the titles for all of them. Okay, let me see. Sick and Wired. Let me see what that was about. I just Googled it. Thinking that Henry's not telling the truth about being sick. Oh, yes. Oh, that was so much fun. So I loved being the Italian plumber. I got to do Schwaz's accent, but doing an Italian accent.
Oh.
That was my favorite moment, Alexandra. I loved being the plumber and getting dressed up as like a Super Mario kind of guy, and coming in and going, so tell me about your sink. Like this horrible accent. It was great, and my girlfriend at the time was Italian, so I was like quite happy that I could do it.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, Michael D. Cohen, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
You're
It's
the
an
best
absolute
swaz
honor.
ever.
Thank you. It was a
I
privilege.
better watch some Hair and Ninja stuff.
Like I said, I'm gonna keep watching the show.
Please
Me
keep
too.
watching Danger Force. And if you're on social media, look me up.
And
We
to my
can
favorite
connect.
girl, Charlotte. To my favorite
Yes.
black
Did I
character.
just see Michelle? Was it Michelle that had the Jace Norman poster in the background? No, it wasn't Michelle. Who was it that had the Jace Norman poster?
Jace Norman poster.
No, it's
Yeah.
Alex. It's Alexandra. She has it. Isn't that Jace?
Oh.
Goddamn.
Hey, that's so cool.
There you go.
That's
Big girl. Big girl.
very cool.
Big girl.
Thank you
Well, it was an
all.
honor. Thank you all. Thank you, all of you. You're all, just an honor to meet you all and hang out.
Enjoy your danger weekend.
Thank you. You too.
We
Thanks,
should all
David.
have lunch if
Thank you, Michael.
if it wasn't for this pandemic. We
I
should
know,
all have
right?
lunch.
Virtual lunch.
Kuna danger.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.